Okay, welcome back to another video on the Math channel. It's your teacher, Mr. Lim here, and in this video, we're going to be looking at how to understand and interpret graphs. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to do these 4 things. Explain the purpose of collecting data, identify how data can be collected, identify different types of data, and research and draw different types of graphs. So let's have a look at the first one, the purpose of collecting data. What I want you to do right now is just to pause this video and open up the YouTube video that will be in the description below, and just watch that for a few minutes as an introduction to graphs. Okay, so welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. So the purpose of collecting data is to help us get sufficient information so we can make informed decisions. So here we have an example. Isabella wants to open her own cafe, but she doesn't know what food or drink she should sell. So she should collect data by conducting a survey of the people in the area to see what they enjoy eating and drinking. That way she can make an informed decision of what she needs to sell or make and sell so that her business can be successful. Alright, so let's talk about how data can be collected. I want you to think about the reasons why people procrastinate. So why do people laze around and not do the things that they are meant to be doing? So how would you go about doing this task? How would you find the information? Maybe pause the video for a few minutes, write down what you would do to work out the reasons why people procrastinate, and then you can continue playing the video. Okay, so you might have written down answers such as maybe they're too lazy, can't be bothered, maybe the task is too difficult to do, maybe people just don't know how to do it, don't know how to complete the task. Maybe they have other things to do. Okay, I'm sure that you wrote down a few different reasons why people procrastinate, but how would you find your information? Okay, exactly how would you go about collecting your data? So you could have asked people directly, or maybe you could have looked online. Maybe you looked on Google or Wikipedia, or maybe you read it in some books, or articles. Okay, so the question is how data can be collected. Now, data collection involves deciding what data to collect and how to collect it. And therefore, data can be collected from primary sources or secondary sources. And so we see here in this example that a primary source of data is asking people directly, why do you procrastinate? Okay. Whereas secondary sources is from looking from other sources, such as looking online, reading it in books or in articles. So getting your information from someone else, not the source itself. So what are some examples of primary sources? Well, you could conduct a questionnaire or a survey. You could conduct interviews. You could do some observations yourself, or conduct social experiments. Okay, secondary sources. You could look for some statistics from online research. Or you can find your information from books or newspaper articles. Okay, so data can be collected from primary or secondary sources. But what are the different types of data? So possible responses for procrastination, from the procrastination example, they could include too difficult. Okay, or other things to do. Okay, so as you can see, the answers given are words. Okay, so we ask the question of why do people procrastinate? You answer that question with words. And because you answer that question with words, the type of data that is being collected is called categorical data. Okay, a category, words. Something is a survey question that could be asked that can only be answered with a number. So I'm just going to make up a question. How many cousins do you have on your dad's side? Okay, so that question is a survey question that could be asked that can only be answered with a number. So how many cousins do you have on your dad's side? You could say 7, okay, or 3. You have to answer it with a number. And because the answer is a number, this type of question is called numerical data. Okay, and that word numerical looks like it's almost got the word number in there. So you can just make that connection. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video and I want you to create 5 survey questions that will give categorical data and another 5 that will give numerical data. Pause the video, have a go yourselves. Okay, so I'm just going to make these up right now. Categorical data, you could ask what color are your eyes? Or you can ask, what suburb do you live in? Or maybe you could ask, who is your favorite sportsman? Or what is your favorite movie? Or what food are you allergic to? Okay, every single answer for each of these questions must be answered in words. Okay, you can't answer with a number. If I were to ask you, what suburb do you live in? And you said 7. Now, sorry, that doesn't make sense. Unless we said 7 Hills. But even then, 7 Hills, that is words. Okay, so the answers you give to these questions has to be in words and therefore they are categorical. What about numerical? We could ask how many siblings do you have? Or you could ask, what is your shoe size? how long does it take to get to school? Or you could ask, how many liters of petrol does your car consume every 100 kilometers? Okay, let me think of one more. What is the area of your bedroom? Okay. The answers you give to each of these questions can only be answered in numbers. If I were to ask you what is your shoe size, you could say it's size 5, okay, or 4.5. You can't say yellow, right? It just doesn't make sense. Alright, so now we know how to differentiate between different types of data, categorical and numerical. What I want you to do now is research and draw different types of graphs. So I want you to pause the video. I want you to look up these 7 different graphs. So a picture graph, dot plot, pie chart, segmented bar graph, column graph, line graph, and a side-by-side. And I want you to research this online and draw these on the worksheet that you've printed out. Okay, and when you're ready to check your answers, I'm just going to give some random ones. Yeah, continue playing the video. Okay, so here are some random graphs that I found off Google. So a picture graph. Here we have pictures of soccer balls to represent the number of students. So here the ball sports played by students in year 4. We've got 40 students play football, 30 students play basketball, etc. Okay, we have a dot plots. Here it says the number of minutes it takes to eat breakfast. So what that means is that this person here takes 5 minutes to eat breakfast. In fact, there are 5 people who take 5 minutes to eat breakfast. Whereas here there's only 3 people who take 9 minutes to eat breakfast. And this person here, they're the slowest. These people here probably don't even eat breakfast. Okay. We have a pie chart. So a group of people were asked what their favorite fruit was. 30% said banana, 20% said pineapple, etc. Okay. We've got a segmented bar graph. So we've got a bar graph that has been broken up. It's segmented. So let's say, for example, we'll go back to the cafe scenario. If, who was it? Isabella wanted to open her own cafe. We can say 62% of the coffee sold was, let's say, mocha. And maybe only 12% was flat white. 12% was a cappuccino. Okay, and 10% was, I don't know, my coffees. Let's just say is tea. Okay, so we've broken it up. So this segmented bar graph should represent about 100%. Maybe not in this case, probably doesn't add up to that. And question E, we've got a column graph. This is very important for you to know that there are spaces or there are gaps between each columns. Okay, if there's no gaps, that's called a histogram, but you'll learn about that later in high school. So here we can see that 5 people like action movies. Only one person likes drama. Question F, we've got a line graph here. The line graph shows the weather in New York City the first week of June in 2011. So on Sunday, it was 25 degrees, 28 on Monday, etc. Okay, so there's the line graph. We just plot dots and then we join the dots to form line. And last of all, we have a side-by-side. And a side-by-side just compares two different things. So here we have a comparison of homes sold in different areas or in different cities in different years. So purple is 2002, green is 2003. So in Fremont, 13 homes were sold in 2002, but the next year, 14 homes were sold. So one more was sold than the previous year. Okay, and that's it for this video.